So John, you've got a new Dead Daisies single just came out called Light 'Em Up. There's an album of the same title on the way in September. You were in Dead Daisies from about 2015 to 2019 and then took a break and went off and did some of your own stuff. Now you're back. Why is now the right time to come back to Dead Daisies?
Well, to be honest, I never really burned that bridge. You know what I mean? I was friends with him. It was, and my reasons for leaving were nothing more than personal. A quick little nutshell here. About 4 months prior to me joining the Daisies, I had just gotten married.
Okay.
That's number one. Number two, my son flew out to Nashville and moved here to be in Dad's solo band as my drummer.
Nice. Okay.
And, then I get offered, 4 or 5 months later, I get offered this Dead Daisies gig. And we did this first record called Revolution. And for some reason, it just blew up. And the band went from doing like, Camden Underground and whatever to like these huge festivals and bigger places. And so we were constantly on the road. And then when we weren't on the road, we were in the studio and then right back on the road again. And which, to be honest, most people would kill for.
Yeah.
But I'm, on the other hand, I've got my son in one ear going, Dad, you fucking suck. I moved to Nashville to be in your band. Then you fucking joined this other band. And that, blah, blah, blah. And then I got my wife in my other ear going, well, it was great marrying you for 4 months. And now you're gone,
Yeah.
So come 2019, I just said, you know what, guys, like, I really appreciate this opportunity. I think I need to just step off the roller coaster for a minute. I'm going to continue to go do some solo shows at my own pace, not somebody else's schedule.
Yeah.
Because, it was pretty maniacal for a minute there. Like we were just constantly going.
Yeah.
And so I did 2019, and then who saw 2020 coming with COVID and everything? So it was almost 3 years of nothing. But I still remained friends with the guys. Glenn Hughes came in. They did a couple great records with Glenn. But even at one point, Glenn was sick and they were getting ready for a tour. So they asked me to come up to New York and just kind of rehearse with them and run them through their paces, which I did. So we always remained friends and, all this other stuff. Well, then, Glenn eventually decided I'm going to go back and do my Deep Purple shit and my Black Country Communion shit.
Right.
I'm going to take off. So David flew down here to Nashville, and all he said to me was, we want to get back to the fun, and we're not going to kill ourselves in the process like before.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was, sign me up. Let's go.
Yeah.
So that's what we did. Last year we went on tour. I have to admit, I was a little nervous about coming back into the fold after Glenn Hughes.
Right.
But you know what? The fans were like totally supportive. We didn't miss a beat. Everybody was happy that I was back. And then we just started making plans to do some new records this year.
Yeah.
So,
when, how does the songwriting process work in a band like Dead Daisies? Because it's kind of a constant revolving door. And I would imagine you're also trying to maintain some consistency based on the brand, the band, the brand. But you've got a collective of so many talented people, and it changes all the time. So let's talk about Light 'Em Up, the upcoming record. How did the songwriting process work when you've got all these talented people sort of gelling, or some of them coming back together for the first time in a while, and you're all capable songwriters? How does it shake out?
It's, I got to be honest with you. and you know, you guys will appreciate this as musicians. I don't think I've ever been in a band ever where writing music was as easy as it is.
Wow.
We have never done a record that took longer than a month.
Wow.
The Revolution record was done in 30 days. Make Some Noise was done in 30 days. And the process is, it's kind of funny, but what we'll do is, you know, we've all got home studios, obviously iPhones, you know, so we'll take these ideas, you know, all throughout the year, just riffs, and we'll put them on either on the phone or record them at our house with, you know, drums, bass, something, whatever. But we don't finish them. We just riff ideas. And then, like this record, for example, the management set up a couple of drop boxes for us, and they just said, hey, you know, throw your ideas into the drop box. Marty Fredrickson was back involved again with the band. And they said, you know, put your ideas in the Dropbox. And so we get together and we just kind of play all the ideas with Marty. And then we go, oh, that's cool. That's a cool riff. What is, you know, and then we work on it.
Yeah.
Map out the idea. And then the cool thing is, with this band, we kind of map the ideas out and then literally get into a room where, you know, all the gear's set up. I'm the only one that's really not in a room. I'm like off in an ISO box. But we literally sit there and we play live in the room together. And then I'm scatting melodies. I'm kind of developing the melodies as they're laying the tracks down. And then we get a full performance out of the band. And then we just knock all that out. And then I take all those tapes and go to a different room and I just sit there and start working on lyrics and melodies. And then we knock out a vocal a day. And it's just fast. I don't get it. Like even this record, because we took little breaks. The way we did this, we came here to Nashville and we started rehearsing, and then we wanted to do some of the recordings down in Muscle Shoals in Alabama. For all of us, it was all kind of a bucket list studio to go to, and you know, so we started here. We packed up, we went to Muscle Shoals. We were down there for, I don't know, 5 or 6 days, 7 days, packed up, came back to Nashville, finished. Everybody went home, and then Marty and I stayed and just started knocking out vocals. But it was quick. If you took the time totaled and put it all together, the days that we were actually in the studio, we did this record in about 20 days.
Wow, man, that's moving.